Welcome in, Gamecock Nation and Chuckin Bucket family. It's another episode of the Chuckin Buckets on the Natty Sports Network. Of course, the Chuckin Bucket boys are here to talk Gamecocks, women's basketball, and their tourney path to another NCAA championship. We're going to talk about some postseason awards for the Gamecocks. We're going to talk about some of the other teams that might have a chance to win that as well, and much, much more. So without further ado, let's get to it. That's right, man. We in here to talk South Carolina Gamecock women basketball. Hey, man, we'll go ahead and bring up the other Chuckin Bucket boys, man, so we can get this thing started. First up, y'all know who it is. It's the Stat Guy. What's going on, Stat?
Yo, what's going on tonight, Coach?
Hey, man, watching my Dogs take a close L in Nashville in the men's side to Ole Miss because our leading scorer didn't start, probably because he was speeding or something. I don't know.
Hey, better than blowing a double-digit lead to get bounced in the first round by double digits last night.
Just when I thought it was bad for the Bulldog on the men's side, leave it to the men's Gamecocks to outdo them. Let's bring up the third Chuckin Bucket boy, man, and get this thing popping, man. What's going on, KB?
Fellas, what's good?
What's up, man? You catching some of this basketball tonight?
Oh man, you know it, man. Sitting up here watching our Blue Devils a little bit, just take a little lead against this Louisville game. But yeah, basketball all the way around this week, man. So love it.
That's right, man. That's right. And the NCAA tournament for the women's getting started. Selection Sunday is this Sunday coming. We'll get to see what region the Lady Gamecocks get. We'll get to see if UConn is number one, if UCLA is the overall number one seed. I think it'll be UConn, but there's some, like Stats say, there is some smoke about UCLA considering they have more quad one wins and things of that hardest schedule. And, we'll talk about all that. So let's get started with some of these postseason awards, Stat.
Yeah, so kicking it off, as far as things that we already know, matching the 2001 Tennessee squad, all 5 South Carolina starters were named to either the first or second team all SEC. Pretty cool when you can join the likes of something only one Tennessee team has done.
Right. Considering how much success Pat Summer had when she was there.
Right. So that's pretty dope to join in on that. Obviously Raven named SEC Defensive Player of the Year. So shout out to that. But now all the national awards are down to their finalists. And so you have Big Mama Medina Okad is up for the Lisa Leslie Award for the best center. Mm-hmm. Joyce is up for the best power forward. Latson is up for the best shooting guard. We were debating that ourselves, but hey, appreciate you, voters. Appreciate you. And then our girl Raven up for the Nancy Lieberman Award for the best point guard in the country.
Listen, we did have us a little slight debate about the Latson shooting guard. Statue had a good point. A lot of the best guards in the nation are point guards, or some of them may be wings, and they may not consider them shooting guards. Shout out to Latson for making the finalist list. Now, we saw the list. I want to say the list is AZ Fudd. Who else is on that list? Kayla Blakes from Vanderbilt, the girl from UCLA, and there was another one girl, I forget what her name is, but the two that I thought about, like the girl Jelani from Ohio State, she didn't make it. And maybe you were right. Maybe Olivia Miles, even though she's technically not a point guard, she does handle the ball a lot, but she is up for the best point guard award. So maybe that is why she didn't, even though she was on the mid-season shooting guard list, maybe they moved her off of it. But anyway, hey, whether I believe it or not, shout out to Latson for making the finalist list. Now, one of the girls I think has the most realistic chance to win the award is Raven. to be honest. I mean, I think Raven has a strong case for best point guard in the nation. I know of the list of girls, she doesn't average the most, but I feel like with her being SEC Defensive Player of the Year, and I'm pretty sure up for National Defensive Player of the Year, I think that can put her in the conversation. Like I say, when I saw the list, for me, it's Olivia Miles or Raven Johnson. I don't feel like the other girls are, but I would go with Raven myself. But I mean, hey, we're a little biased around here. What about you, KB?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, I'm with you. I would definitely go Raven, but I can see why people might go the Olivia route. I mean, maybe a little bit more flashy, a little bit more offensive minded. She could be point guard, could be shooting guard, but obviously they got her in the Nancy Lieberman joint, so definitely looking at her as a point guard. But then they're probably looking at a lot of the stats that she's kind of put up, even non-conference type stats as well. And she's pulled some Bam type patent stats type vibes, but so we can't fault her for that. She's able to do what the defense allows her to do, or the offense as well. So I do think Miles kind of edges out Raven, but I would love for Raven to get in, and she's definitely worth the conversation though.
Right. What about you, Stat?
For me, there is only one girl that could beat Raven, and y'all did not name her. It is Olivia Miles' old teammate, Hannah Hidalgo. If somebody's going to beat her out, it's going to be Hannah. I'm pretty sure she still leads the nation in steals. Like at one point, she was averaging like 6 or 7 steals a game. Like her defense is ridiculous. The one knock to Hidalgo is going to be her team's record. And we were talking about it. I said, I don't think team success should matter. But now, of course, I want it to matter here because I want Raven to win the award. But I don't. I mean, I think if it's that close, I think what Raven means to South Carolina. And I think as a point guard, you have to kind of weigh that in. What Raven means to South Carolina and what she does for them, I think is the difference maker of why I think I could still see her winning it. But if Hannah Hidalgo does win it over Raven, you won't get an argument out of me. I won't be mad. Now, if it goes the other way, like if it goes to Olivia Miles, I'd probably have something. I'd probably want to fight you on that one.
Well, I think all around category, if you take it in the point guard, of course, defensively, Raven beats out Olivia if you go Olivia Raven. But then you take in the other like assists. I think they're kind of neck and neck. Olivia might have her in a couple. I definitely know she scores more than Raven. I think that's why I take Hidalgo over Hannah. Hannah is either steals or points. You know what I'm saying? It's like she doesn't do all the traditional point guard stuff as well as the other two in my estimation, where while Hannah can score pretty much when she wants to, she doesn't control the pace of the game. Raven, whether we need her to go fast or we need her to slow it down, she controls the pace of the game. And Olivia does that as well. Now, shout out to Hannah. Hannah is one of only, I want to say, 4 point guards to ever have 10 steals in more than 4 games in the season. That's wild. Yeah, 10 steals in that. So when you're talking defensively, Hannah's probably going to edge out Raven for that one, to be honest with you. But point guard wise, I think for me, it's a overall umbrella type thing. KB, it's Raven and Olivia for me. So.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, definitely, man. And like we talked about in the group chat, man, I would love to see what that criteria looks like for these awards. How much does winning go into it? Because I think we do know winning has to go into it to a certain degree. Because if you're just going crazy out here and you got the worst team out here, like, are you really helping your team, right? Even from the point guard position, being one of the most crucial positions like that, because we can even look at the girl from our girl from Florida, right? The point guard from
Liv McGill. McGill.
They're not the best team, but she's getting buckets. But is she really helping her team? Get the wins that they need from a point guard position? Because she can definitely score the ball, no doubt. And I don't really look at her as a true point guard, but that's probably a good example of somebody that's putting up good stats, right? But just not getting on a winning team and could easily maybe be in that conversation.
Right, and if there's one award, Stat alluded to the team success. I'm kind of somewhere along his lines with the whole team success. Like, if you're talking about maybe best player, yes, team success. If it comes down, I think it depends on if it comes down to 2 girls head to head. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're talking about 2 girls head to head, and you say best player, and it's like one girl's team is like top 10, and another girl's team, is less than 500 in conference, then I think team success plays a part. But for the point guard, I think it should definitely play a part because a point guard is there to assist her team. Like she doesn't necessarily need to be the leading scorer, in all cases. Again, without Raven, this season is not where it is. You see what I'm saying? Like I feel like, okay, let's talk about best point guards. Let's remove this girl from the team. And it's like, it can be rough out there. Now, again, you could say the same thing about Hidalgo, but again, they don't have the success that South Carolina has. Now, Olivia Miles, on the other hand, they have been consistently in the top 10. I think, currently in the top 6 or 7. We knew what she was at Notre Dame, and she's definitely helped TCU, be in that same conversation. So it's going to be interesting to see. Now, Oko, what's your idea? What's your thoughts on her chances to win?
I'll go first on it. I wish people could look at it with some blinders on, and right. I think that she would have a real chance. Unfortunately, I think this is always Lauren Betts' award, even though I don't feel like Lauren Betts has had the best season. She might take her on points, but and it's one of the things we've talked about earlier in the season with Oko, and she's really kind of got it going in the later half of the year. But like, how are you that big and you only averaging 8 rebounds a game?
That's hard. That's like, a hard one for me. That's a hard one for me. Yeah.
To me, that's a big knock. Like you 6'7", and you ain't an athletic 6'7". Like not hating or nothing, but you big frame. Like you should be dominating down there, and you're not. And they say the Big Ten might be the hardest conference in women's basketball, but like, what bigs do they have? Like, I don't know. So,
you like who she's doing it against, and she's not putting up, eye-popping numbers.
Right. So for me, and maybe it's now the one thing, like I can look at it objectively, the Big Ten shoots way more threes than the SEC.
All right.
Long threes, long rebounds, whatever. But the rebounded number, woo, this one might be closer than what it should have been, because it should have just always been her award when the year started.
Right. What about you, KB? You think Oko got a shot to win, or this is Lauren Betts and everybody else?
I do think it's Lauren Betts, kind of everybody else. But, Oko, definitely up there. I think she is second up for us as well. But, man, what I give credit to is just a consistency standpoint. And I think Stat is kind of alluding to that. I think for Lauren Betts, she's just been consistent all year, no matter who she's playing. Unfortunately, we can't fault her for it. No bigs, in the conference. But Okot, we've seen her fade away in moments, right? We've seen her get benched when she, right. Well, let me not use the word bench, maybe change of the rotation. You know what I'm saying? We changed up the lineup, during those moments, because she faded away a little bit, you know what I'm saying, from coming off the Oklahoma game. And let's be real, honestly, we've seen it in some non-conference games as well early in the year when domination should have been happening on the boards. And don't get me wrong, she's had some good stints here in the conference as far as some double-doubles, came up big for us as well. In some big games, but I think this is a consistency type thing going into this year, even with Betts not having these staggering type numbers. She's not averaging 20 and 12 or anything like that. Just looking, just like 16 and 8, not bad, but at this point you're going off a name and just going off from some last year awards as well. So, hey, it's hers.
Right. I think it was hers coming into the year. So, and we've seen this in all the sports, all the major sports anyway, where it's, for instance, not that she doesn't deserve it, because I think she does. I think coming into the year, Sarah Strong was looked at as one of the best players in the nation. So, when it comes to the National Player of the Year award, she hasn't let us down. But even if she had a couple of games here and there, because it's already in the voters' mind, I think that's how Lauren Betts is. Even though, like you say, Oko has faded here and there, for the most part, though, I feel like when you're talking about value to the team, Oko behind Raven, like without Oko, like it'd have been rough this year. You know what I'm saying? I feel like UCLA scores enough. I'm not saying that it's different without Lauren Betts. Like, they still gonna be number 2 in the nation, but I feel like they could manage more, and that's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? Whose value to the team is more? You know what I'm saying? So, and I could be wrong on that. Again, slightly slanted down here in the South.
Right. But, and I will say, because people might look at it and be like, oh man, that's just not fair if they decide these awards back in September.
Right.
We won't be saying that if Medina gets her waiver and she comes back next year, because this is her award heading into next season if she does come back. And so sometimes you get to enjoy the cake. Sometimes you got to watch the other person eat it. So
that's how it is, man. But shout out to all the Lady Gamecocks up for postseason awards, those that won some awards in conference, and then now, like I say, up for national awards. What's up?
Do we think Joyce has a shot?
I don't think Joyce has a shot at. You talking about National Player of the Year, right?
No. For the power forward.
Power forward.
She up for it.
Was it her? I didn't see the finalists. I'm gonna try to guess. Toby Fournier's on there. Sarah Strong, Toby Fournier.
Sarah Strong for sure.
It's gotta be Sarah. To be honest with you, if Sarah's on a list, I think it's her award. I think regardless of the award, if Sarah, unless she's on a list for something other than Player of the Year with AZ, I think Sarah. If Sarah's power forward, National Player of the Year, I think she's gonna win both of those. I don't know I'm assuming they're considering her a power forward. They could be considering her a center. I mean, I don't know.
Nah, they would have to be. She would have to be considered a 4.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with Sarah. It's like Sarah's been straight balling out, and I feel like she's gonna sweep whatever awards. I'm pretty sure I haven't seen the Big East awards, but I'm pretty sure outside of anything that AZ won, Sarah swept all of that. So now, while I think Joyce did finish the regular season and the conference tournament, didn't she still finish with the 20 points a game? Did the tournament knock her under 20 points a game?
Yeah, I think she. Hang on, I'm pulling it right now. I'm pretty sure that she's under it.
Oh, okay. Well, if she did, hopefully she'll be only the second player under Dawn Staley to finish with 20 points a game. The other being the one and only Asia Wilson, future Miss Bam 83. So, but kudos to all the girls for putting in the hard work, and obviously it's coming back and helping them win and being noticed nationally. All right, Stat, you got an update on Joyce's points per game after the SEC tourney?
19.6.
Yeah, that's on her. There's nobody.
I'm not putting losses on her, but I'm just saying she had opportunities to keep that 20 point.
On the last day of the regular season, she had the first time all year that she scored in single digits. She scored 9 points, and then against Texas, she scored 13.
Yeah.
So it'd be like that. But now here's where it gets interesting. You have the NCAA tournament. Historically, you get an HBCU first round.
Right.
Maybe Dawn lets her go crazy and get her 35 and push her back over, but
right. Maybe for the year, but not for got you. I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. She's definitely got to bring her A game, and we're about to talk about that in the NCAA tournament for the Gamecocks to have a shot. Stevie G gets in, our resident Oklahoma fan. What's going on, Stevie G? Appreciate you getting in. He said, y'all, you all failed me. You let those horns win, referring to the SEC tournament championship. Hey, listen, I don't know. Listen, and if you haven't already, go check out the video that we dropped on Monday. KB and Stat kind of covered, what should have been done, what could have been done, feelings after. We got to see some stuff live. Gamecocks had some moments where they looked, unbeatable. And obviously looked beatable. KB was actually at the championship game. It's kind of one reason why I don't ever get the tickets to Sunday. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's gonna be exciting, but yeah, I don't know if I want to be in there Sunday. But sorry, Stevie G. Sorry that the Lady Gamecocks could not pull it out and beat your arch rival. So but we're here to talk about some of those performances and performances coming up, where who should be the current rotation at South Carolina? Are we happy with the starting 5 and who gets the most minutes coming off the bench? KB.
Starting five, I'm gonna say I'm good with it. Definitely don't want to overreact from a Texas standpoint or that Texas game. I mean, I think there's some culture moments there. Got hit in the mouth early, so like I said, putting that behind us. You know what I'm saying? Let's put that thing behind us and keep moving. But coming off the bench, man, rotational wise, man, would love to see some more minutes from McCure coming in for Tessa, just from a defensive standpoint. Even from an offensive standpoint, when we talk about attacking the basket, we know Tessa's great from the three. Love her out there when she is stroking that thing, but when she's not, we got to be able to make some adjustments, man, to kind of get something different going to the basket. So for me, a little bit more McCure, and wouldn't mind seeing McDowell for a few minutes as well. Like I said, not looking to get 15, 20 minutes out of her, but man, let's maybe rotate her in, maybe for even Latson on the wing. I know a lot of times we like to put her in at that 4 position, but that's just an undersized 4 for us coming into the game. But she's naturally on the wing, so if we can get her in the rotation, man, I would love to see it.
What about you, Stat?
Yeah, I mean, at this point of the year, the starters are who the starters are. McKeer has to be the first person off the bench. She brings the energy, she brings the emotion, like she just that intensity she plays with. She's going to turn it up a little bit. It takes the defense to another level. I feel like it also allows you to do some different things with moving her to the top of some of the zones and stuff that Dawn likes to run. Appreciate you wishing us good luck in the attorney Stevie G. Good luck to your Sooners as well. But on top of that, I think what we saw from Allie this weekend, I think she is now the first big off the bench. She might have had her best game of the season Sunday against Texas. So that was really good to see. And we're going to need that going forward, whether it's somebody's in foul trouble or just to give people breathers. Let's be real. We're pretty sure Tack's done for the year. She was still riding around on a scooter in Greenville. So I'm not expecting her back. So at this point, you have what you have. You just have to live with it and roll the punches.
Yeah, I think to both of y'all point, the starters are the starters because what we've seen. To be honest with you, for me, I'm not as comfortable with Latson getting as many minutes though. For me, if she's not playing like she played against LSU, was it LSU? I think she came out really hot, or maybe it was Friday. Yeah, I think it was like LSU. She came out really hot, I think. She hasn't played like that a lot in the ranked games or the important games in the SEC play. So for me, like, Maddie's been getting a lot of playing time, but I would keep her out there even more. I know Raven needs to rest. If Tessa, like you said, now as far as McCure is concerned, honestly, even if we bring her off the bench, early, I'm bringing her off the bench. Unless Tessa's just ice cold, I'm probably bringing her off the bench and moving Tessa to the 2. Like, like, and taking Latson off the floor, like that type of thing. And as far as the bigs, I'm totally with you. I think Allie needs way more playing time down there because, she comes in and gets that first foul right off the bat. It's like she got to get it out the way. Once she get it out the way, then she good. And I feel like some of her skill set, especially offensively and her athleticism and her length, can help on defense. So I think she should definitely be more in the rotation. No dig at Dowda. And Dowda gave some good minutes in the SEC tourney. Yeah. But I think Allie can get some of those minutes as well, especially since, like you said, that Tack probably won't be back. So I just think the rotation that way, I think it's hard to question a future Hall of Famer, best to ever do it at South Carolina. But when you're watching the game, you're like, why are we riding with these girls that aren't performing, at the moment, because there's been some times when we're watching and you're like, Tessa's, she's not the best defender, you know what I'm saying? She ain't out there just giving it up all the time, but it's like, come on, man, if she ain't hitting, what we doing? Let's get somebody out here who can defend, you know what I'm saying?
And that's where I think we might see more zone in the tournament and try to hide some of that. But I'm with you though, especially when it comes to Latson, we need to see a little bit more takeover. Early, like I get trying to play within the system, but early in a game, you got to look to get you some. And like get on the board, because when she does, now you see her turn up on defense. That's when she gets those little pokeaways at half court, and now we're off and running. Right. Like if we're the way I'm looking at it, the first play we ran against Texas, I hated that play call. Hated because like for 5 or 6 games in a row, we were looking for the Tessa 3. Mm-hmm. And I love that starting the game. See if she hits lightning in the bottle and we get her going early. Or I want to get the ball to Latson and get her downhill and see what happens.
Right.
But the slip screen to Joyce coming down the middle of the lane, that ain't there's too much bodies down there. That ain't never there.
Right. So, and I know it might seem kind of crazy to say, even because Joyce is the leading scorer on the team, but in that lineup, when you're thinking about it from a coaching perspective, you got your point guard. That's Raven. She's the distributor. She runs the offense. She gets everybody in it. Tessa's the stretch the defense girl on offense. She can hit the 3. We've seen her drive. We know she can get to the cup, but she's the shooter. You know, let's stretch the defense with her. Then you got Joyce and Oko in that lineup. Again, what they're meant for is you're the post players. You get the rebounds, you defend, you score in the paint. We don't care we good that you can hit 3s for Oko, but we looking for you to score in that midi range to the basket. Latson in that situation, there's only one option for her. She is the scorer of the 5. That's what she's the shooting guard. You know what I'm saying? That's what in my mentality. Yes, we don't want you taking all the shots, but it's been way too many games. We can't just be like, oh, she's still figuring out, her role or her place in. It's like you went from averaging 25 a game, leading the nation, to 12 or something like that. Like we got to get more, like especially like Stats said early in the game. KB, I feel like Latson, get lathered up, and now if Latson's scoring while they're playing Tessa tight like hallways, you know what I'm saying? Like now they have to get off of Tessa and worry about Latson, which will free Tessa up, and it helps everybody. So
or it doesn't allow them to dig down on Medina or Joyce, and now they can work one-on-one in the low block, and they should be winning those battles.
Right. Appreciate you getting in. Says Dawn had made her mind up. Maddie's going to be the point guard going forward. She will likely be the first off the bench. Confidence building. I definitely agree. And I'm a huge Maddie fan. As far as the point guard position is concerned, I definitely think she should be, the first person to get the ball after Raven, and sometimes to be on the floor with Raven, so that because Raven scoring has been great, in the back half of the season, and we've needed that. So you bring Maddie out there. Maddie can play the true point guard role, and then Raven's more of an off the ball point guard mentality type. And defensively, it helps because Raven's the best on ball defender, but then sometimes there's 2 guards out there that's killing, and it's like we need somebody else that can really step up. Now, Latson's defense has been pretty good, but Maddie can really disrupt somebody else's offense. So, but I think with the McKeer thing, we're talking about when it's time to bring somebody that's not ball handling off the bench, and it's with whether it's Latson or it's Tessa. If somebody ain't contributing offensively, McKeer is better defender than both of those girls, and she can score if needed. So if they're not producing offensively, then we go with McKeer. But we definitely agree with this comment here. Mm-hmm. KB, you was gonna jump in on that Latson.
Yeah, kind of 2 things, and it kind of goes to the comment that was just kind of put up as well. So 2 things from a coaching perspective, I think we need to be better identifying who's got it early, right? Like who's going to be connected in the game early. And to Jeff's point from Tessa, like us running plays early on for Tessa, I think she has to get those plays to get going. Like I said, I don't think she's that type of player that can just find the flow at some point in time. I think that's strategic to try to get her certain plays, even off that tip ball or just early on in the offense. But to the point as far as like identifying players that's getting off early, like I'm tired of waiting for Latson. Like I'm tired of waiting for Latson to get it going. At this point, hey, bring McKeer in. Let's go or go Maddie Raven, put Raven in her spot. Because our half court offense is our half court offense. Because anybody can honestly play that particular role that Latson's already playing now. If we want somebody else not pulling 3s, we got somebody for that. If we want somebody not attacking the basket, we can bring somebody in for that. So right now, if you're not really giving us an advantage on offense, hey, we can go with somebody else that's going to give us maybe more on defense or at least attack the basket.
Right. And like I say, when you bring Maddie off the bench, she helps with the point guard duties, and she helps ball handling duties. She helps with the on ball defender duties. Makira helps with the on ball defender duties. She can also get her shot off if need be. She disrupts the other team's offense. She can rebound as well. So again, I'm totally with that. That's a good point, KB. Just want to identify early who's hot and who's not, and if they're not hot and they're on the floor for scoring, which Tessa and in my mind Latson are. Hey, let's get them a little break early. Let's just give them a little breather, get them a breather, and then once they come back in, maybe they're ready. But yeah, we I think we ride them a little too much sometimes. I think Tessa has earned it. In my book, Tessa has earned us to ride her out a little bit longer on that cold streak than Latson has. You know what I'm saying? Because she's shown up in big moments. Again, Latson scored, I think she had a couple of 20-point games early in the season, but it was getting some cupcakes. That doesn't really do it for me. Like when you playing Texas, when you playing Oklahoma, when you playing UCLA and Attorney or UConn or whoever, like bro, Joyce can't score. You know what I'm saying? Joyce, like Oko's getting rebounds and we're running some plays for her, but mostly Joyce is getting all those down low points early, and it's like you got to have somebody on the outside. So if Tessa and Latson ain't hitting, it's going to be a long night. So, Mr. SC Brad, what's going on? Appreciate you getting in, my guy. He says California women's basketball, Sakima Walker had to put up those numbers this year, and she had the numbers she put up those numbers this year. She had at South Carolina. They could have been good off the bench. Look for Clemson next year if they get some size. That's interesting. I'm interested to see what Clemson has. South Carolina's pretty much owned them. They have been better at recruiting in the past few years. So that'll be interesting to see with the Clemson women's basketball. Shout out to Sakima for finding her form again.
And to that, good on her for going out to Cali and putting up a good final year for. But she had already shown at South Carolina she was a deep down the bench piece, couple minutes here there. I don't know if even if she stays at South Carolina, I don't know if she gets the opportunity to put up the numbers that she did this year.
Right. The full court press for Texas was giving the Gamecocks a little problem. It says, can SC throw over the top a little bit against Texas's full court? That would have been a good idea, to be honest. But I'm gonna be honest, if that is the philosophy or the strategy, I should say, Allie needs to be in the game because for me, I'm putting Allie center court. She's taller than everybody, and she's athletic. She's not just tall; she's athletic. So you can throw it over that front line of defenders, get it to her. She turned. Now you should have two options coming down the side. So that's a good point. I'm pretty sure Dawn is definitely working on that a lot the past week and working on that, coming up, because that's what's, the things, those type of things are the things that can set you back on a NCAA title run.
Yeah, right. They actually did that the first play of the game. I know you guys probably didn't see it on TV, but first play of the game, they come out in the press, throw the ball over the top to Raven. The girl, I think it was Jordan, she gets in front of her. Raven picks up the charge because she doesn't see her. Throw it over the top. And yes, can do more of that, but man, give credit to Texas and that defense, man. I think they work on it, man. Yeah. And that press is like, dang, how can you do that every game with 6 players pretty much in a rotation?
Right. To that play, you're right. They didn't, because I want to say the Duke Louisville ACC championship ran over, so on TV we didn't get to see that because we didn't know it was on ESPN News or whatever. But I would say there's two different mentalities there. If you're a point guard and you get it, they're pressing. Raven gets the charge because she knows she has to catch it and go. With Allie, she's taller than everybody. Again, I think it's more of a you probably if she catches it in that same situation, I don't think she gets the charge because all she has to do is turn and look. Whereas Raven, for a point guard, you're thinking turn and go. You know what I'm saying? And it could be, but you're right. Texas had it. Hey, all I know is when you said it was 12-0, I was like, Texas brought the defense today.
My issue with is we've seen some situations like this multiple times this year, and we've always done the same thing to fix it. Raven inbounds the basketball. That's all you have to do. Instead of having Joyce inbound it to Raven, now she banana curls, catches it in a bad spot. Now she got nowhere to go. and it's a bad pass or somebody doesn't come and meet the ball and it's a turnover, have Raven inbound the ball. You throw it into one of your bigs, and then you have Raven go, because you can do so much action off of a big standing still that she's able to get herself open, and you're not worried about a 5-second call. You now have 10 seconds to get it across the half-court line.
Right. Roy Atkins getting in. Appreciate you getting in, Roy. So I think Texas exposed South Carolina's weakness, I guess, with the full court press there is. But I think Texas showed too much. Other Texas go get some in, other than, I don't know what that second sentence say, but it say that's what gets Dawn's team again. I guess those. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think it's saying that unless Texas somehow has some more WNBA players on the bench you ain't seen, they ain't getting Dawn with that one again.
Right. Got you. Right. Don's that type of coach. You know, you lose to him one time, but shout out to Texas for winning the series, if you would. Mm-hmm. They played 3 times, just like they did last year. You know, so and this year though, Texas won 2 out of 3. To be honest with you, hopefully they don't see them into the Natty if they have to see them. It's like, let Texas and UConn be on one side and UCLA and South Carolina be on the other side. You know what I'm saying? So we should have seen that. Louisville women basketball should have beat an overrated Duke team. You said that at the beginning of the year. We tried to tell you Duke was, say it was going to take them a while, but Duke beat them. So they can't be too overrated, dog. They ran. I mean, again, the ACC is not the SEC, but Duke did run through the ACC. Other than losing to North Carolina, I want to say the last regular season game, if I'm not mistaken.
Clemson hit like a buzzer beater 3 on them, I think.
Yeah, something like so. It's like Louisville's good now, but Duke found their swag, once conference started, and they got it going. So we'll see how both of those teams, Louisville, they've shown that they can be a force to be reckoned with from the ACC. We'll see what both of those girls teams do in March. I don't think either of those teams are going to threaten, past the Sweet 16, to be honest with you. So they make the Sweet 16, but past the Sweet 16, I don't see either of those teams. No problem, Roy. We got no problem with the typo. All right. So who needs to step up in March in the madness? KB, the Gamecocks. They get this. It's a hard road ahead. It's a lot of teams out there gunning for the title. Who need to step up? Like who does the Gamecocks have to have? Like, give me 2 players they gotta have. Like, if they don't perform, it's a wrap.
All right, since I'm not gonna say Latson anymore for the rest of the season, like I'm gonna go somebody. I'm gonna go somebody else. I think it's. I'm gonna say 2 players. 2 players down low for us, Okot and Joyce. As much as I love Raven, she's missed consistency for us. We definitely need her, but I honestly think we go as far as our post players take us. We got to have the double out of Okot. We got to have 20 and 6, 20 and 7 out of Joyce. And really on Joyce, I need more on the defensive side of things because we know what's coming down the pipeline. We know Sarah Stone coming down the pipeline, and we're going to have to stop. And somebody's going to have to be on her and wear her down so that she can maybe be tired on the offensive side of things, right? But so you got to attack her on the offensive side, but then D her up on the defensive side. So for me, man, it's our 2 big girls down low. We're going to go just as far as they take us.
Getting in, it says Duke appears to have found some players in season. Right. They, I want to say, was it Tennessee they lost to right before? It might be. It was LSU. It was a good team they lost to right before conference. And then they found their stride and those girls started playing good together. Roy says Duke doesn't have a deep bench. That is one of their issues. And he says also Joyce needs to step up and Okot. So he's with you, KB, saying that the post players need to step up. What about you, Stat? You on the same line? The front line need to step up, or you got a different take?
Different take. Who needs to step up is Raven, and she needs to grab old girl Tanaya Latson that you personally called. Oh, go get my high school teamie. We're gonna win a title. Go get your girl. Get in the car. Drive back to Westlake High School in Atlanta. Look at the 3 state championships you won together. Look at the national championship you won together and decide right now, do we want to do this again?
Right.
Decide right. Because if not, we just wasting our time. Because unless we get the Latson that can take over a game, we will not win the national championship.
That's such a good take. Where you said Raven needs to step up, not with her play, but with her leadership,
right?
And say, you know what I'm saying, look, this is it. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got no more. We got no more years. Like, this is it. Either put up or shut up, get out the way for somebody to come up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with that. I actually think it does need to come from I would say, I'm just going to say the backcourt period, because Raven has been like KB's been saying all year, misconsistency. She comes in, she does exactly what we want her to do and more this year. Again, like, her 3-point ball has been, pretty consistent out there with
40%.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And I don't think anybody had that on their bingo card coming into the year. You know what I'm saying? Maddie comes in and is consistently playing great defense, getting to the foul line, taking away some of those ball handling duties. Makira comes in and she's here and there when it comes to the offense. Latson and Tessa, we don't know what day it is. And even when Joyce is bad on defense, somehow she getting some points down low. You know what I'm saying? So Oko, for me, since the how'd you put it, KB, changing of the rotation in the minutes, you know what I'm saying? She's been pretty consistent down there, down low. While we do need them to show up, like when it comes to the mud, like we talked about all those great guards at the beginning of the stream. You playing some of those guards, we're gonna have to have somebody more than Raven putting the ball in the basket. You know what I'm saying? So let me go. I'm just gonna go with the front court. Turnerbees, did she get in against Texas? She got wasn't a lot of minutes. But I do think she
played a good bit in the second half.
I was about to say she played in the second half. She didn't play a lot in the first half though.
She finished with like 8 and 7.
Right, and then Roy said we need points from the friends. We said Allie needs more playing time when we was talking about the rotation. Allie, we just think Allie needs. I think she's ready. I think Allie needs more playing time. But I'm with you. I feel like if Latson is gonna be, which she is gonna be in the start rotation, if she's not given 14 plus points average in the tourney, it's gonna be a hard fought road for South Carolina.
Not average, minimum.
Still, that's tough, man. I'm gonna throw this out here too, man, for y'all, man. Like, just talking about Latson, man, and like I'm not gonna ask anything else of her anymore. But I think we're seeing what a system player looks like, though. Like I said, the system player from Florida State, Latson, is different than this player right now that's not really fitting into the Gamecock system, right? Like she's there, don't get me wrong, but I think she needs a different system in order to get off. So when we talk about a system player, I don't think we can expect her just to take over a game, you know what I'm saying, in this particular system that she's currently in. And right. I think what we're seeing is what we're going to get. So my expectation can't really change now, because I do think she's a system player.
Okay.
So, and then here would be
listen, I know people are gonna watch this, and for the replay game, we appreciate y'all getting in too. Make sure y'all get in and comment later on, on all of these thoughts. And I know it seems like we're harping on Latson, but we expect a lot from Latson. You know what I'm saying? Like Stat kind of, explained early in the season, she used to get to the free throw line a lot more at Florida State, and I think that's something. Even if she's not hitting from the outside, get to the free throw line. And I think I pointed out in the group chat one time, like even Maddie can get to the free throw line. So they're literally the same size. So if Maddie can get to the free throw line, Latson needs to get to the free throw line. If that's how you got to get your points, that's cool. I mean, I watched Georgia Vandy and Michaela Blakes had 27 points and only hit three field goals. You know what I'm saying? She was at the line all night. So if you got to do that, let's do that. I know Statue's going to get in there with something.
Yeah. So for me, and I guess it's hard because we know what to expect in crunch time. Even at the start of the game, it's either that high-low action, it's either a slip screen down the middle, or it's swing, 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 and pitch the ball into the post from the wing. What I'm saying is, why not put O-Code at the top of the key, spread the floor out, and then let Joyce go and set a screen for Latson on the wing and see what they want to do. If they want to crash down, you got Raven you can kick out too, that we now trust to shoot the three. Tessa going to be somewhere out there. They definitely ain't leaving her. And then Okode has shown that she can also hit the three. And it's so hard, right? Because like Dawn is such a high basketball mind.
Right.
And I'm with it. Like, I'm a defensive minded person. Like, you pound it inside, you control the boards, and you play defense. You win the game 60-58, and I don't care. But maybe, I think KB said it earlier this year, maybe is it time to explore a different side of things offensively?
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
You space it out. Now Latson has the room to get aggressive and get downhill, where she's not running into Oko or Joyce down there. Then you now have options for her to kick out to. Right,
to unclog the paint, maybe bring them out, play a little 4 out, maybe 4 out, 1 in type deal. I'm sure with a coach like a Dawn Staley, she's practiced that, here and there throughout the season. I don't know if she'll fully rely on that at the beginning of March. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at the start of the tourney, I think she may show us some stuff, but the offense is the offense. We're running the high-low. We're trying to kick it in from the wing. Lasson's just got to figure it out. I feel like if you're that type of player that's trying to move to the next level, you got to figure it out. I agree with this statement. It says Raven has to stop playing the part of doting mother and take more shots. Time to stop team building. This is her last go-round. Raven has shown, again, as the season has gone on, late in the season, Raven, if it wasn't apparent to anyone, it should have been apparent at LSU. Like, Raven's like, this is what I used to do in high school. Like, I can bring the ball down, I can run the offense, but I also could score at will. And I think she's been more aggressive in that sense, even more aggressive than the shooting guard tonight. Latson, you know what I'm saying? If she's got to score 20 a game, then score 20 a game again. You don't get another shot. This is the last rodeo for you. So after that talk that stat says she need to have with her girl, if her girl ain't with it, you're like, you know what? Don't worry about it. I'm taking the shots then. I just won't pass you the ball.
And that wouldn't surprise me. Something else I would not be shocked with if we see Texas again is Raven to little sister Roy and take her to the post. She loves posting up small defenders with her little, because she gets to her. It is so crafty, and I'll use it. I know you hate it too, but she's so crafty because she gets funny angles. Like, she don't take them down there and like drop step layup. She gets like these weird angles and just hits a little turnaround jumper and just with a soft touch puts it on the front of the rim. Right. Real smart basketball when she has the smaller person. You want to play the high-low? Play the high-low. Let Raven post up Roy. Come get the smoke, Roy. What you doing down here?
Right. So, listen, we moving into this March Madness, and we want to talk about some of these teams and possible matchups that may cause the bracket busters, as we know. But before we do, word from our sponsors.
All right, y'all. Quick 30-second timeout. Let me put you on real quick. If you're listening to this, you already love women's basketball, and you know Elite is different. Elite looks different, sounds different, and feels different. Well, that's exactly how our friends at Kick-Ass Coffee Supply move. They're over in 5 Points, and this ain't regular coffee. This is top-tier championship-level coffee. They've got some of the best roasters in the world like Say, Onyx, Black and White, and DAC, all in one spot. So instead of paying for a mid-cup every day, you can make world-class coffee at home. And the crazy part, you're probably already spending the money. You might as well drink something that actually hits. So here's what you do. Pull up Kick-Ass Coffee Supply, 617 Hardin Street in 5 Points, Columbia, South Carolina. Tell them Chuckin Buckets sent you and you'll get 10% off your order. That's it. Simple. Upgrade your coffee game the same way your favorite team upgrades their roster. And as always, go Gamecocks.
That's right. Kick-Ass Coffee down in 5 Points in Columbia. Let them know Chuckin Buckets sent you. Again, it is that time, March Madness. March Madness makes some legends, man. Shout out to some legends. Let's do this right quick. Shout out to some legends. We got Asia Wilson. She was a legend everywhere, all the time. And over in the corner, shout out to my girl, Sadia Roundtree, number 10 up there, Georgia Bulldogs. She's a legend. also in NCAA March Madness and during the year as well. So we're here to talk about some of these teams and players that could become legends this March. Give me some teams that people aren't really thinking about that could mess up some brackets.
Man, there ain't nobody. There ain't no. It is a literally, it is a 4-team race. And if you ain't one of these 4 teams, just make it however far you can make it.
And so the 4 teams is Texas, South Carolina, UConn, and UCLA?
Yep.
So you saying Michigan? Not worried about that matchup, huh?
They ain't gonna be in our bracket, so I ain't gonna be worried about it.
That KB, you got the same take. Is it 4? Is it 4? And then the rest of the bracket. Listen, I watched some of the other conference tourneys, and styles make fights, man. So I'm not saying this for South Carolina per se. I'm saying, again, UCLA played a tough schedule in the Big Ten, but that was mainly Big Ten. UConn has played a fairly easy schedule, but they do every year in the Big East. South Carolina has played, the SEC. Texas has played the SEC. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Like an Ohio State-Texas matchup. Jelani, maybe she goes at Booker like that. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I don't think it's as clear-cut as like what Stat's saying, but man, speaking of SEC, let's not forget about a Vandy team. You know what I'm saying? That took a terrible loss in the SEC tournament, right? And I like Michigan as well. Like I said, let's not necessarily count teams out when they can get hot, because the tournament is really about getting hot at the right time, right? And it only takes, as we've seen in the SEC tournament, it only takes a good 10 minutes in the beginning of the game to start this thing out right. You know what I'm saying? And then from there, it's an uphill battle going from there. So I don't think it's as clear cut as like these 4 number 1 options. And let's not count out Vandy. Let's not count out Michigan. And hell, let's not count out even LSU. You know what I'm saying? Let's not even count teams out that can probably catch you off guard. And just teams like that can get hot offensively. Like I said, don't expect them to come in and stop you defensively and just stop everything that you got going on. But man, just start hitting about 10 threes in the first half or something like that. That can change the momentum in this March Madness thing. Like I said, it's not as much parity like we have on the men's side, but on the women's side, it can still happen.
Right, and Vandy didn't have a great showing down here in Greenville in the SEC tournament, but Michaela Blakes was SEC Player of the Year. She's leading the conference in scoring. Matchup-wise, again, if South Carolina matches up with Vandy, not a great matchup for Vandy. But if Texas matches up with Vandy, because you can bring, I think just like I'm interested if we could see a Texas TCU matchup. Like what Rory's gonna do with Olivia Miles, you know what I'm saying? So while Rory is, a defensive, I ain't gonna say juggernaut, but she's definitely elite defensively. But Olivia like 6'2", if I'm not 6'1", 6'2", I don't know, bring the point guard, that's gonna cause some problems.
Yeah.
So here's the thing with Vandy and why I'm not really high on them. They're gonna get matched up with UConn or UCLA. And while I like what Michaela Blakes can do, if it's UCLA, they don't have anything for Lauren Betts or her sister. And if it's UConn, I think is just the most complete team in the country. Like I like Vandy. I mean, I think they've done good and they've taken a step forward this year. They're just not quite there. But to that point, Michigan will also avoid UCLA. They're lurking somewhere. That's who I'm watching for on Sunday.
That's all I'm saying. I'm interested on the placement of these teams again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm still having nightmares from the first game of the season last year, and pin down screen after pin down screen, and all those girls that were hitting those threes were freshmen. They're
That's
also
what I'm saying.
It's another year. So,
and like KB said, LSU can match up with all of these teams because while she's definitely a hothead. I forget her name. She's the post player from LSU. She's, I want to say, a freshman or somewhere. She's super athletic, and she can get those rebounds. What's her name, Stat?
Grace Knox. She's a freshman.
Yeah, Knox. Yeah. If you got Flau'jae on, Michaela on, and the point guard, gosh, she showed out.
Jada.
Yes, yeah. Jada. Yeah, Richard. That's her name. It's about getting hot so you can win those 5 games in a row. You know what I'm saying? So if they get hot, and again, if it's a team not named South Carolina, because I feel like, to be honest with you, LSU not beating South Carolina is a mental thing. It's not a we don't have enough talent thing. I think it's just a mental thing. So what if they get matched up against UCLA? No, Knox can't stop, bets. But if Kiki Rice is playing like she played at the beginning of the season, where she's not really taking threes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. And Flage's on. You don't know. What about if Hidalgo gets matched up against a team, you know what I'm saying, like a Texas or a UCLA? Like, I'll be honest with you, Lauren gonna have to come to play if they play, you know what I'm saying? Because Hidalgo putting in 25 easy. That's just what it's gonna be. And she probably gonna have 8 steals. So Styles is gonna make fights. We got an Ole Miss. Ole Miss, for me, such a tough team, but this is what I'll say about Ole Miss. Ole Miss, they can match up with one of these big 4, 5, 6 teams, take them down. Next round, they're going to come out flat. That's just, it's like they can't put it together. I don't think they could put it together for like 3 to 4 to 5 games. That's the only thing I say about Ole Miss. But Cody McMahon, one woman show. Now, you know what I'm saying? I mean, Lattimore gets out there and she does her thing. But if Cody McMahon ain't going, it's a wrap for them. Got a dark horse in Duke. I think it was said earlier by Roy, I worry about their bench. Even if their 5 can handle, if one of those girls get in foul trouble, it's kind of over for them. Look at our boy Britsky getting in from the Sharpshooters pod. Sorry, you change your name, Britsky. It's Sharpshooters Sports Talk. She says Roll Tide. Appreciate you getting in. Mr. S.E. Bread says Michigan women's basketball lost to Iowa. Huge in the Big Ten tournament, so they can't be slipping no more. True. Iowa's got the girl down low. Again, what if Iowa match? And again, UCLA has beaten Iowa. We've seen that. But what if, Iowa matches up with the Texas, or, you got to deal with the girl that's down low in the paint, and she's pretty much getting what she wants. Again, their guards would have to come to play. I think Michigan basketball is worth noting here. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, because you won't get matched up for the most part with the team from your conference until like the 3rd round, probably.
Right.
What?
Well, unless it's like a
well, they got 7. They got 17, so they could see somebody in the 2nd round. I guess I don't know how.
I mean, you're right. You could see somebody in the 3rd round, but not somebody you should be worried about. Like, they're protecting, like, all the teams that could potentially beat each other will be in opposite pools or brackets, whatever you want to call it, for each other's conference.
Right. Jeff in Louisville, I think they're formidable. Do I think they can take on one of the bigs? I'm going to call them 6. I don't know. We'll see. Again, Styles makes fights, and they could get hot, and we could see, something different. Do we think Tennessee makes the tourney, by the way? I know we're not talking about them as a threat.
I think they do, just because of we talk about record, right? I mean, strength of schedule, right? Even though these are some bad losses, don't get me wrong. And they hit a bad stretch for sure, man. But I don't see how you can leave them out, just based on the teams that they played in our conference.
You mean the teams they lost to?
They did. Only a couple blowouts though. I mean, but yeah.
Worst loss in school history, right? Then also the worst loss in the series history of the UConn series. Here's the problem. They are going to get in because of the name on the front of their uniform.
Okay.
They do not deserve to get in, and I pray to the basketball gods that whatever seed they are, they get absolutely thwalloped in the first round and bounced on out of there. I think, to me personally, if I was that coach, and they won't do this, nobody would ever do this. If I was that coach, I deny the bid. We don't take it. We don't want it. We ain't coming.
She's not denying the bid because, as we've said, she might not be fired because it's only her second year, but she knows she's getting heat. This is Pat Summers. This is still Pat Summers, Tennessee, and she's getting heat. We got a question here that says, will Cooper be with Tennessee? I don't know what's going on with that. But I don't think with or without Cooper, they're not making it past the 2nd round, in my opinion. I think one of those teams like a Duke Louisville or definitely a TCU or to be honest with you, Ohio State or one of them Big East teams that can't beat UConn, but they, you know what I'm saying? But they can give Tennessee all the run for their money. West Virginia, yes, this is a good call out, Mr. SC Brett. West Virginia girls they've been putting it together towards the end of the season. Again, KB mentioned it. It's about who gets hot. And do I think any of these other teams are gonna win the Natty? No, but they could knock somebody off that was trying to win the Natty. You know what I'm saying? So. We'll see. I'm interested to see where LSU gets placed. I'm interested to see where Michigan gets placed and TCU. Like, we know who the number one seeds are. That's the big four, UCLA, UConn, Texas, and South Carolina. I was interested to see where Vandy, LSU, West Virginia, TCU, and Duke all get placed as possible 2 seeds, I would think. I know Vandy's going to be a 2 seed. I think LSU's a 2 seed, and I think TCU's a 2 seed. I think Duke is.
You think Duke jumps on Michigan?
They could because they won the ACC.
In the conference, yeah.
Because they won the ACC.
Give me Duke right now. Sign me up. Sign me up for Duke again, please and thank you.
Right.
Send Michigan. And then that lets you get funny with TCU and Texas together. I mean, I'll take Texas.
Talk about money. You tell me, it's all about that money thing, I think Texas will win right now, but I would not be surprised if TCU could take Texas. I ain't gonna lie.
But I'll be honest. Knowing my luck, Michigan is R3 and they'd beat Duke anyway, and I still gotta face Michigan.
Again, a team we think South Carolina can beat, but I think it's a tight game the whole time. I think the coach is really good. I like those girls that gave South Carolina problems last year. Like Sat said, all freshmen, now sophomores. So we got a question that says, how many Big East teams gets in? 3. I think that who did God. Let me think. Who did UConn blast in the championship?
Villanova.
I thought it was Villanova, but then I don't know. I was telling myself maybe that was last year.
I'm pretty sure it's Villanova.
Yeah, what's crazy is they never play a hard schedule. That's why I say you can't use that as a we can beat UConn type thing and say, oh, they don't play anybody. They don't play anybody every year. That has nothing to do with it. They just, they're good. But Villanova's one of those teams that consistently outside of beating UConn always make a good run, for Big East. Let's see, Big East women's tournament. I can tell you right here. Hold on.
Villanova, Seton Hall, Marquette. So Seton Hall and Marquette both was at 12 and 8.
You're right. They did beat the brakes off of Villanova. So Villanova was the 2 seed. I think Villanova is in. Seton Hall, I'd have to see their record to see if they're
19 and 12, and Marquette 18 and 12.
See, but this is what I'll say about that. While I don't think Seton Hall is causing any, ruckus in the tourney, they should be in. If Tennessee gets in, Seton Hall should be in. You see what I'm saying? I get it. Yes, definitely. I'm pretty sure Tennessee has the edge on scheduling, but we watch these Tennessee games. You can't just lean on, hey, we playing a hard conference, because guess what? Vandy still won. South Carolina still won. Texas still won. LSU still won. Until the last 4 games, Ole Miss was still winning. You know what I'm saying? Not for nothing. Georgia won over half their games. So in the SEC. So, I mean, what we doing here? You know what I'm saying? Passing through Sports Talk Media. Appreciate you getting in. Says the AP loves Duke. They'll be seed number 2. That's what I was thinking. I think they get the 2 seed over Michigan.
Is real quick, has Duke had the wildest ride we've seen from a women's basketball team? Preseason, what? They were 6th to start the season.
6. Yep.
Dropped out of the top 25. Completely out.
Had 6 losses, if I'm not mistaken. 6 losses in the OOC.
No, they 3-6. 6 losses in the first 9 games. Started the season 3-6.
Right.
Now, regular season ACC champions, conference tournament ACC champions.
Looking at a 2 seed.
Yeah, I think that's what we're seeing in the difference in great coaching at Duke. and maybe bad coaching at Tennessee. Kerry Lawson, an example of being able to turn a team around right through the middle of the season and come out on top. But then we got the coach at Tennessee not even being able to get her girls at practice, you know what I'm saying, or being able to get them on time, where I think she's had the opportunity to turn things around, you know, in the public eye and even behind the scenes. It still hasn't done it. But I think that's just a shout out to Kerry Lawson, man. We talked about her early in the season, man, how great a coach she was, even when she was losing some crazy games early on. But man, somehow they found it.
Right. Got a question that says, appreciate you getting in. Says, has LSU stopped fighting amongst themselves? I mean, we saw that mid-game, you know, in the South Carolina game. I think, I think Moki, again, as a person, I don't know her, you know, so I can't talk about it as a person. As a coach, I think overall she is good. But how Moki's personality is, I think she invites chaos, you know, in her program. So I think that's kind of like par for the course, to be honest with you. No, you know, when what's her name was there, Angel. When Angel with Reese was there, you didn't see a lot of that, but it still was I ain't gonna say just because they was talking trash, it still was almost like a renegade squad. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's kind of just what for me Kim Mulkey brings, but when you start pushing assistant coaches out the way and stuff out the timeout and yelling at each other, it's time to get the rein, you know, pull the reins back. You know what I'm saying?
So my thought on this, and I could be off base and wrong, could be picking a fight. I don't really care. I think it comes from the leadership from the players' side to rein those freshmen in earlier in the year and not let them get all wild and crazy in the head. Like you can play with controlled chaos. They're just playing in chaos. And then when things go bad, they don't know how to control emotions because it hasn't been controlled all year. And I look at who's supposed to be the leader of that team, and I put this on Flage's shoulders.
Interesting.
And so where it comes from, and they for as much as they praise her for everything she does, what if instead of being in the studio one weekend, you had those freshmen at your house team bonding?
How do you know she was in the studio during the season? Stat, you can't put that on Flage, man.
Not during this. I'm saying in the offseason, like before the season, you should have been putting that work in with your girls.
Maybe she did, and it just didn't take. Maybe she
did.
I'm not saying she did or didn't. I'm just
that ain't what her mom was saying.
No, right here. Yeah.
I'll take it a step.
She went in his life. So.
I'll take it a step further, man. Not on Flage. I think I put it on coaching though, man. And you recruiting these type of players that maybe they're not leaders. I don't think Flage is a leader. When that stuff was happening on the court with
Michaela and Fuali and Rashard. It was just
like nobody stepped in to like stop that or like talk to them or anything like that. Like Mulkey allows the players to be themselves in a system that's kind of chaotic, right? You know what I'm saying? They allow them to be themselves, but if you don't have a leader on the team, you can't expect them to go out there and be leaders and kumbaya and going out and doing bowling and stuff like that, because everybody's got their own agendas and different styles. So I blame that more on coaching than anything.
Right, and then we kind of seen it, and this comment alludes to it. We seen it at the end of the half. Where Fuali, the shot clock is running down. There's like 2 or 3 seconds. She needs to get a shot off. It's great defense being played. She's calling for a screen, and Joyner's like, there's 2 seconds. There's not time for me to come screen type deal. And he's saying Joyner was right. Why waste time calling for a screen? I mean, at that point, I think Fuali, the defense was too good. You know what I'm saying? And Fuali was like, what do I do?
Now I will say to this particular time with the shot clock winding down, Agat McKeer had Fuali in absolute hell. Like, he tipped the ball away from her twice. Like, had to scramble to go get it. She tried to give it up. They were like, nah, this is what you do. Come get it back. You're supposed to score. I mean, just absolute torture. To
be honest, if I'm like, of course, in that moment, the player is in control. She can't hear the coach, and mentally she's blocked everything out. But if you're a player like a Fuali, you have athleticism. Yes, McKeer had her, like you say, in defensive lockdown. But you got to just go. You can't be side to side, east and west. We got to get north and south. And at this point, if you're a high IQ player, you're hoping for a foul, you know what I'm saying? Because McKeer was playing super aggressive. So now let's see how we can try to get a shot up or get into her body to get a foul. At that point, they were just standing around, and Joyner was like, 2 seconds. I can't do nothing with you. You should have called for it. When she was locking you up for the last 5 seconds, you should have called for the screen. Right. But like to stats, to your point, KB, that's the kind of environment that I feel like Moki invites. And you can't just I feel like Moki just gets the best player. Like you got to get the best player that can fit your system. If you're going to allow them to have, some carte blanche out there, they need to be mature. I'm not saying these girls aren't mature, but somebody got to be a leader out there. And that's on the coach for recruiting non-leader type, elite players type. So, passing through says Tennessee is still a top 64 program team in the country. They struggled in the SEC play. If they were in the ACC of the Big 12, we would recognize them for as a surefire tournament. Could be, but still had some bad losses. I don't know. I expect more because I feel like they do have the talent of a top 64 team. They don't put it out there all the time because, again, while LSU has lost 18, 19 straight against South Carolina, ain't been no 50 points, multiple times. See what I'm saying? Like, they put up they lost by 6 in LSU. They lost by 6 in the tourney. It's like they're there because of the talent. So it's either the talent that we think is better than it is, or it's the coaching. Something got to give. Like you can't be losing to Texas A&M by 11 or something like that. So we'll see what they listen. They'll get matched up with these non-SEC teams in the tourney. By the way, so we will get to see. So somebody's going to be, made right in that situation.
Man, speaking about you was talking about the how many times LSU had lost. I was listening to a podcast today, and Moki was on there on the podcast, and she was talking about how much she was hating to hear that lost 18 or 19 times, but because she was like, hell, really, I only lost 6 times or 7 times. I was like, why would you say that? You're kind of right. You're kind of right, but you do have consecutive losses. But the point she was making is hearing it all the time as if she was there the 19 times that they lost these games.
But as beat writers and as basketball fans, we don't care who was there. It's 19 straight.
Right. It's the school.
You know what I'm saying?
Representing the school.
Right. We represent the school. All we remember is y'all ain't won 19 straight, dog. Like, that's just what it is. We don't care that you wasn't there. You're there now. What's happened in these last 6 or 7 times? Same results as the previous person. The only thing we can say is she does have a natty, but she didn't have to play South Carolina during that natty. And I said it in the group chat. When it comes to March Madness, all you got to do is beat the teams in front of you. You got to worry about who on the other side of the bracket, who matching up where, what's a bad matchup for you. That's what it is. Passing through says the coach is trash. Talking about Tennessee's coach, you can throw her away respectfully. Listen,
that's all we want.
I think Stat was calling for a job right before Christmas or right after Christmas or something like that. It's like, I don't know if she's gonna make it through the season. Like when she started to go downhill. So again, there's a lot of expectations in Knoxville, and rightfully so. And they're not the type of program in my eyes that should, wait around to see. Like if they're not firing her, which I don't think they are, next year is make or break. That's just what it is. Like you either compete for the SEC title and get a top 3 or 4 seed in the tourney, or you're gone. This is Tennessee basketball. You got to get it together.
And I think my biggest issue isn't all the bad loss. I mean, the losses are bad and they piled up, and so it's basketball. Sometimes that happens. And I think maybe we misjudged the talent that is on this team and maybe gave it a little more credit than what it is.
Right.
The problem is the team quitting on her night in and night out, and now players physically quitting the team. Like that's where it's now gotten ugly, and where it's like now you're talking about some cardinal sins in coaching of like, how do you let her hang around? So we'll see. Maybe they get done dirty in the first round of the NCAA tournament, get beat by 30 by somebody, and maybe that's
because they're probably like a 7, 8, 9, 10 seed, so they're going to be matched up with somebody that can actually, you know, give them a run for their money.
They're gonna be matched up with a Power 4 team.
Right. So we'll see what happens, man. March Madness is about to start. Selection Sunday coming up this Sunday. We'll have a video out on Monday morning, like we always do, talking about the region that South Carolina is in, who we expect to challenge the other teams, and what South Carolina has to go through. And then maybe some of the other key matchups that come out as well will be live again next Thursday, 9 o'clock, same time as always. So make sure y'all tune in. We appreciate everybody getting in tonight, getting in the comments, keeping it popping. That's what we do it for. If you're on the replay game, let us know your thoughts on the awards that we talked about earlier, the national awards for the South Carolina team, the current rotation, who needs to step up for the Gamecocks, and some of those interesting teams from around the country. KB, any parting words before we get out of here?
And last thing, don't forget about the tournament bracket. The tournament bracket that we're going to be doing and hosting. I know we'll talk about it in the video upcoming Sunday, but man, everybody join in. Definitely curious to see everybody's brackets. Who's got some upsets out here? We talked about Michigan earlier. Is it TCU? But yeah, definitely good. Looking forward to see everybody's bracket though.
Right. Get in the if you look in the video description for this live stream, the link is in there to click on. If you just click on it, it'll take you in. If you create a username if you don't have one on ESPN. If you already do and sign in, it should take you directly into the Chuckin Buckets group for March Madness. Also, I actually think we have two groups. Right, by the way, I created one for ESPN, but the last 2 years we actually ran it on CBS. So I put that link in there. So if you click on the CBS, we're running both of them. Let's just say that. So if you got ESPN as the app, we're running ESPN. You got CBS Sports as an app, we're running CBS as well. So just click on one. There'll be each video we released the last 2 weeks has had the link. It'll have it. It's also on the channel. If you're a subscriber, it should be in one of our community posts. So, yeah, definitely get in on that. Stat, take us on out, my man.
Hey, man, as we get ready for this Selection Sunday, everybody safe travels if they're going to Soda City to the Art Museum to watch it with the team. Man, y'all just be crossing y'all's fingers. Keep Michigan the hell away from me. And with that, I'm out of here, dog.
All right, man, for KB Stat, I'm Coach. I appreciate y'all getting in on Chuckin Buckets. We out of here.
Peace.